Hi, this is Steve and welcome to my blog. This is another attempt at this. This thing sends me up the wall. Anyway, what's happening? Well, we've got some wonderful programs here. I've started off on the worst. The one that's paying my wages at the moment is this marvelous thing called My Paying Ads. I'm not so sure. I know a lot of the other guys are into the Zoo call. Guaranteed sign up thing. I'm going to let that go a few days because it's never, when something as complicated as that, it's best to let it bed down for a few days and then see how you get on with it. I know they're doing all these big webinar things and all that sort of thing, but I think we'll just let it bed down for a while. My opinion of it is, I won't pull the screen up, it's too much of a nuisance. My opinion of it is you get 5 sign-ups, guaranteed sign-ups. Now 3 of them are guaranteed to be in Zoocall, so they kind of cancel each other out. So you're not paying the $50 a month, but 2 of them are in My Paying Ads. And the only problem with that is, I won't show the refs because it's got their my referrals. I won't show them because it's got their emails in them. But you get 2 referrals for My Paying Ads, but you can't guarantee they're going to put any money into their accounts. So you got them, but you got, like, you might have 2 freewheelers that are just sitting there waiting. Now the way, once you get in the way to get around it is to piff them in, pay it forward, put some money in their accounts and hope that they carry on funding their own accounts, because there is the problem that they just take the money and run and you won't get the commission on it. But I think we'll just let it bed itself in for a few days. It's a smashing idea, and anything to do with helping. Well, we're up to now 62,000 people for something that started in the spring. Look at that, it's fantastic. I mean, it took Maps over a year to get that far. But we're doing all right here. I want to pull my page up, but I better mess it all up. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look. Where are we? Phew. See, it goes up and down. It has its ups and downs. I lost a lot of shares from the massive amount of thousands that I was in. That's how much money. 5,000, nearly $6,000 is about £3,000 sterling. The massive amount that I had in it. And the huge amounts that I was pulling out of this, huge amounts. How much shares? What's that? September. And I was pulling out nearly $40 a day. It was paying me more than the supermarket pays me, and wonderful. Thing, but of course a lot of these matured and it went down, so the takings all went down. But there's something he's done to it just lately. Even though with the percentage, I thought the percentage went down, but there's something he did, and you have ups and days, up and down days. But there's just lately, it's gone crazy, and you're nearly back to what it was in the summer. So get that back to over 1,000, and I'll be back to. There's one day I made $200 in the day, and I can see this going back again. So nothing wrong there. So it's a super duper. Oh, this is another thing. I think I've mentioned this before. This is earnings in a 24-hour period. For every dollar you put in, what do you get back? Maps, you get 14 cents. Venture Plug, which is up and down thing, which was sadly it was a very well paying piece of kit, but it's gone down because he's having trouble with PayPal, but I think he'll bounce back from it. Merchant Shares, we'll show you in a moment, is a similar thing. My paying out, this has gone down a bit because, like I said, a lot of the shares have matured, but it's paying very well. But Trafic Monsoon, of course, which we shall now go to. I hope I can pull this up too, because this is an easy way of showing you actually. These are the takings of Trafic Monsoon, and of course I've got the damn thing in the way here. as of today, 54 shares, and made $66. Now, does this? I'll pull the page up. Oh, of course I'm not. I messed all this up. Never do these things live. I've got to. Oh, here we go. Got to go through all this. X2E, and we'll let him load up. Oh, here we go. No, we don't want to listen to you, Todd. I'll let him go up. Go back here for a while. Merchant shares, which I've got at $100, $105 in it. And it's a similar system, but it pays all right. It marches on, this merchant shares. I'm not sure if I'd recommend to put a lot of money in it, but the only problem I've got is this a genuine chart? Is this something they make no reference to the genuine world of finance? That's the problem. It's just his opinion on what's going up and down, and but it does marches on. It makes me bet maybe $1.50, nearly $2 a day for the modest amount of money I've got in it. So do the math. You know, like I said with that. That's messed that all up, but you know, move the decimal point, and you can see how much you're going to make or not going to make in it. That's in 24 hours, so it's not too bad. I'd wouldn't want to put anybody off, but it's not one of the big players. The big players, of course, are my paying ads, are hotly pursued by this. This is a wonderful thing. I've made the mistake of, let's see if I can pull this up. You see, buying them one after the others, buying them sequentially, and of course they'll mature sequentially. So what you have to do is buy them in. Pull this up, looking at nonsense. Buy them in blocks of 3. See, that's a block of 3. That's a block of 3. And then buy them in blocks of 5, and then buy them in blocks of 10, and that way you get to the stage where the amount I've got in, which is about 50-60 packs, and then you just come the day they'll all mature together, so you buy them all together, and that way, and then you really do hit the ground running. It really is a marvelous way of going on, and life is good. Life is good. In my honest opinion, my paying ads is the one that will march on. This is the main backbone of the whole thing, and I much prefer this one because the way you buy the shares in purchase shares. I'm not going to purchase any shares because it's the same principle. I've got to buy them in blocks, but you go up in tiers. You go up in tiers. You got to, I think of the $20 ones is the highest I went up to, and they take long to mature, and it's an absolute genius. Uday, the guy behind it, is absolute genius. You know, wonderful thing. There's a lot of copycat ones, but he's the first. He's been going the longest, and in my opinion, this is the best. What else is happening on the markets? Well, the only other thing I'm into, and I can't get anybody interested in this, is Etoro. Now, like I said, you're playing a big boys game here. You really are in the big league. This is my fantasy portfolio. So in other words, you pick someone like the Mr. G here, you follow them for a year, and then you see whether you're going to put any real money on it. This guy does really well. This lady here, see if I can pull her stats up. Is it? Oh no, it's not going to work now. It's going to just going to look a nonsense. Ah, here we go. She's only really got money in this one massive share, but she knows something we don't, and she's made a lot of money in this. So look at these figures. Oh dear, what have I done here? Get rid of that. Look at these figures. She only had 1 month where she's made a loss. So you follow them for a year, and then in fantasy money, then you follow them with real money, and you know, sadly, this is the future. This is how the market will really shape up, because this cannot go down. You can put a stop loss on this to stop. I won't do it because it's a bit. Oh, can I do it? I messed it all up, knowing me. No, I can't do it. I'll mess it all up. I can put a stop loss. So there's like this guy I've been following is sadly starting to make a loss now. These are all the things he's in. So you can say, well, if I was trading this for real, I'd do away with this. I'd dump this stock, these trades. I'd just dump it because he ain't going to make a profit on it. And but you can put a stop loss on it to say once he's losing too much money, then call a halt to it. And of course, you can then cash your chips in, and in something like 10-15 working days, you can have that pound notes in your hand. You can go to PayPal, go to your bank account, mine's the Lloyd's Sterling account, and then I could just, you get your money back. You can't get your money back with these. Once it's in, it's in. You can't just say, I've changed my mind, I want the £3,000 or $5,000 back. It just doesn't work like that. This, you can. But like I say, I've made some big losses in this, and if I'd been following this, I'd be bankrupt by now. So again, buyer beware. Other than that, life's pretty good. Everything's going okay. So any questions, just ask, and I will see you in the future.